Hello everyone and welcome to the New York Empoleon Week 1 Battle of the UBL Season 4. This week we are taking on the West Virginia Miniors coached by UltraPlayer. And if you haven't seen UltraPlayer's channel, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Go down in the description, check it out. It's super great. He's a wonderful opponent, has been absolutely wonderful in scheduling with me in what is going to turn out to be quite an interesting endeavor. So, as none of you know, because this is live development pretty much, it is basically the end of the day on the last day of the deadline, and we are going to try to get our battle in. I have been working tirelessly with Aaron, 2420 shoutouts to Aaron for all the help he's done for not just me, but everyone in this league and other leagues for figuring out this LAN system to make the Wi-Fi battling work in a lot of these leagues using non-20 minute timers. The problem is mine doesn't. I have managed to stump Aaron, and there is no way right now for me to figure out how to use the 10-minute timer. We don't know if it's an issue with my router, with the firewalls blocking the LAN servers. We don't know if it's an issue with the switch. According to Aaron, it's happened once before with one other switch. That person happened to have a second switch handy. I don't, and I'm not going to drop $300 to try to play a 10-minute timer for a league. Like, that just seems a little bit ridiculous. Especially since the version of Sun that I'm playing was a download onto the memory card, so I would either have to switch the memory card out or play through a whole nother file of the game just to play these leagues. So as it stands, I don't know what my future in the UBL will be. If we can figure out a workaround, I'm actually going to a meeting this week at the office, and I'm going to talk to the IT person and see if they know anything about it. But I spoke to my sister, who's a computer science major from MIT, and she doesn't know either. So unfortunately, it looks like we are just going to have to deal with what we're dealing with. This week, we are going to be battling on Showdown, and then if I am not going to be able to figure it out, there's a very good chance I will be dropping out of the UBL, which will be the first league that I ever actively drop out of, which would make me really sad. Aaron has acknowledged that there's nothing I could do. It's not, me making any sort of user error. It's not my fault on some level, and he said he'd be willing to step in with my team and finish out the season. If the UBL has a wait list, then obviously they would take priority over him, but we have backups in place for the UBL, so I won't be screwing them. But I just feel really bad because I wish there was a way I could compete. I really like the team that I've drafted. I want to chance to use it, but that's not the way life goes sometimes, so here we are. Anyway, I guess since we're doing it on Showdown anyway, I will give you guys a real quick rundown of the team, and then we'll jump over, and I will be live comming this. I will be battling against Josh, who has generously said that he will battle on Showdown. We had an option to battle with the 20-minute timer for this week since it's week 1 and there's not a whole lot going on. In terms of like playoff races or anything like that, the timer would affect too much, and since the Wi-Fi graphic is so much prettier, we had the offer to do that, but Josh hasn't set up his Nintendo Online services, and so it would have been more of a hassle for him to do that, and we decided Showdown was just going to be less of a hassle and much easier, and we can guarantee it'll work. So anyway, the first one we're going to bring is Galvantula. This thing is going to be a sticky web. Possible lead, possibly not a lead, just mid-game sticky webber. Sticky webs are so good against his team right now, and so hopefully this thing can get the opportunity to set those up and keep them up if possible. Next up, we have our basically sweeper, which is Choice Banded, Gorilla Tactus, Darmanitan. This thing has U-Turn, Earthquake, Icicle Crash, and Ice Punch, being able to spam Icicle Crash over and over. If I don't need the power, then I'm just going to go for Ice Punches so that I don't miss. And then, obviously, Earthquake is good coverage, and U-Turn is just useful for the mid-game. Since this thing is sort of a breaker, it doesn't necessarily single-handedly sweep. Dugtrio is amazing, as I said in the draft analysis, at just breaking down some of his threats that Darm doesn't kill. Darm U-turns, go Dugtrio, kill something, and then switch Dugtrio out. If I get like 2 kills with Dugtrio, I'll be in good shape, and I'm happy to let it die at that point. I'm not going to try to necessarily preserve it unless there's no reason to let it die, and I have a good switch into the next mon that comes in to revenge it. But this thing, Earthquake, kills so much of his team. I'm Scarfed so that I outspeed the Jolteon as well as the Inteleon, and I'm not running quite max speed, but I am running a lot of speed in order to outspeed most of his team without any hassle. And then the 2 things that I would otherwise speed tie, or if he's Quick Feet Jolteon, for instance, I won't outspeed anyway. I'm just not going to stress about it too much. Next up, we have the Bronzong. Bronzong is going to be a Bulldoze, Reflect, Stealth Rock, and Body Press with the Culver Berry, max defense so that the Body Press is doing maximum damage. Reflect helps me against things like the Mimikyu, and Bulldoze is just generally useful to speed control, because speed control, as I've mentioned earlier already in this video, with Sticky Webs, it's just really, really good against his team. Body press is the thing I'll click against everything but the Mimikyu pretty much, but Bulldoze -1 speed and getting the broken disguise is amazing. Stealth Rock, it's good. I don't need it this week. I'm not super stressed if I don't get it up early. Next up is my Milotic, which is Flame Orb this week with the Marvel Scale, rocking out with the Scald, Haze, Recover, and Light Screen. So we have the Reflect and the Light Screen on 2 different Pokemon. This is a max defense, obviously, set because that's what you do with Milotic, but it does have the Light Screen to offset its special defenses lack, and then the Haze is there so it doesn't become setup fodder for something, or it can haze away the Defiant boost from the Passimian. And lastly, we have Braviary, which is also going to be rocking out with a Scarf this week. Brave Bird, U-Turn, Close Combat, and Facade. And it is Defiant in case he tries to defog my webs away with something like his Mandibuzz. And it can switch in on the Serena going for a Rapid Spin as well and still outspeed it at +1. And since I am going to be rocking out with this Choice Scarf, I would need to be Adamant to get that little bit of extra chip power, but I couldn't outspeed Jolteon guaranteed if I'm Adamant, so what I'm doing is I'm outspeeding a Jolteon that is speed creeping a Dugtrio with the Choice Scarf, so I'm speed creeping that. So I outspeed all Jolteon as long as they are only 1 point higher than Dugtrio would maximally be. And I could do that while I was Adamant, so that's what I decided to go with this week. That's the team we're going to be rocking with. Hopefully it works, and hopefully we figure out a way to stay in the UBL, but at this moment, right now, it doesn't look likely. So this may be the only battle you guys get from me in the UBL Season 4. Not with this team. Someone else will be taking over the team, maybe making some changes of their own, but I actually kind of like the team. So anyway, hope you all enjoy, and I will see you guys all back here in a moment when we get into that battle. And again, it'll be a live comm on Showdown, which isn't my favorite format, but we're doing what we got to do. It's my fault anyway, so shout outs to Ultra Player for being really flexible. So I'll see you guys back here in a moment. Welcome back, everybody. We are jumping into this battle with Ultra Player and the West Virginia Miniors. He is going to be rocking out right now with the Mimikyu, Mew, Mandibuzz, Copperajah, Garbodor, and Serena. Nothing too unexpected there. Serena I definitely saw coming, Mandibuzz and Mew. Copperajah was the one thing that was super annoying for my team to deal with, but obviously we got to deal with it because it's here and it's now, and we are going in. Now, he could try to set up spikes or toxic spikes with the Garbodor, and that's going to be something I have to manage to play around, since there's not a ton of stuff that I can just immediately OHKO it with. I don't have Sash on anything this week except for my Galvantula, and I don't have Removal. So I need to either force him to remove by like leading with Galvantula and setting up Sticky Webs in the first turn, or I need to go ahead and lead with something more aggressive that could potentially stop that Garbodor from setting up any hazard. So let me just double check if his Garbodor can live a Earthquake from a Dugtrio, which I forgot to make level 50. All right, it can, so I don't think that's my best play. So I could just lead off with the Galvantula as I'd kind of anticipated doing, and go for the Volt Switch. And then if he does lead with his Garbodor, expect it's going to set up spikes or something, and then just Volt Switch into my Dugtrio immediately. And that will allow me to take out Garbodor. With one layer of spikes getting up, it's annoying, but it isn't the end of the world. The biggest problem with spikes is that it does confirm that my Bronzong is heat-proof instead of Levitate, which is information that he would then have for later. But I don't think that's going to end up coming into too big of a play throughout this match, to be perfectly honest. I do think the Copperajah is something that I'm going to have to handle. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there and wall the Darm. And it's got Power Whip, so Milotic can't just necessarily switch in. If he does set up Toxic Spikes, then Milotic, there is the Garbage. I figured that was going to lead. So again, I think my best play is just going to be to click Volt Switch here, go immediately out into the Dugtrio, and then kill this thing. It likely won't OHKO the Dugtrio. If it does, then it doesn't set up spikes, and that's something. And we get information about how much this Volt Switch does. And he has no immunities to it, so I'm just going to click it. I could set up my Sticky Web, but I don't think I need to this turn, and so I'm just going to immediately go out into the Dugtrio here. Make the aggressive play. There's the T-Spikes, which is fine. It actually doesn't confirm that this thing's heat-proof because it's immune to them. And now I get an Earthquake off. He could be Shuka. He could be Shed Shell. Those are two options for now, but I'd love to. I have to know, and I won't know until he actually goes ahead and does something here. So if he's not, then he dies. If he's neither Shuka nor Shed Shell, then he's dead. And if he is one of those two things, then he can live. Now, 1 layer of Toxic Spikes, yeah, it means my Loadic gets poisoned instead of burned. And there's the Shukaberry. So he does live, and he goes for the Seed Bomb, and I do live that. So we can just Earthquake again here and take him out since we know there's a Shukaberry. And Garbodor's going to go down 1 layer of Toxic Spikes. Not the end of the world here. We can manage that. And Dugtrio, I had wanted it to go 2 for 1 if possible. Looks like it's more than likely going to end up 1 for 1. I'm not going to... Unless he goes hard Mandibuzz here, which I don't necessarily think he will. I think he thinks I'm sashed, not scarfed. Then I don't... Serena also would be annoying here, since I can't really do anything to it. He can just U-turn out pretty freely. But I could go out into my Bronzong here if I wanted to. Let me double check how much the Bronzong does to Serena. Well, High Jump Kick kills me if he Choice Banded. So I could go out into my Braviary, or I could just let this thing go down. I'm doing... I keep forgetting to make his Pokemon level 50. I'm doing like 20%, 20 to 30% with an Earthquake, which isn't nothing. And I can't switch this thing back in anyway, really, on the Toxic Spikes. So... Yeah, I'm just going to click EQ here, do that 20%, and he's going to click Rapid Spin, get that +1 speed. Not a big deal. Braviary comes in here and can kill without any issue. I guarantee outspeed, and I guaranteed annihilate based on that roll with a Brave Bird here. Even U-Turn's doing about 70%. But Copperajah could come in on the Brave Bird if he wants to. The problem with going for a U-Turn is that I don't have anything I want to switch into this. But that being said, I don't want to hard switch anything into the Copperajah either. And I don't want him getting up rocks, per se. So I kind of want to just go... Well, how much is Bronzong doing to the Copperajah with a Body Press? Like 70%? Because Close Combat doesn't kill right here, and I don't want to stay in. So I think Brave Bird's my best play, but it's either that or U-turn. It's really either, do I think he's going to double out here, expecting me to be Scarfed, and outspeeded Serena? Because if he doesn't do that, if he doesn't go Copperajah, then I always want to click Brave Bird. He goes for the Protect here. That's a good scout. That's a good scout. I'm just going to... I mean, obviously, I click U-turn here every time. He doesn't know if I'm banded. He doesn't know if I'm scarfed. Banded would still kill with this, and I was going to go banned, so that's a thing that he could certainly be considering. Banded wouldn't have killed with that U-turn anyway, but that was a good play to try to get a sense of what my Braviary is going to do. Now he knows that I'm probably locked in. The question is, what does he go for as a prediction of that? Does 50%. I'm not going to go into my Galvantula, even though that probably outspeeds him. I think my best play is Bronzong at this point. And he's just going to go for the U-turn himself, get himself out of there. Now he knows that I'm either Scarfed or a lot of speed if he is no speed. The likelihood, though, is that he's a very offensive set. And based on how much he just did to Bronzong, with that U-turn, he looks to be max attack Jolly. So, knowing that he's probably Jolly, Braviary is the only thing that's going to outspeed him at +1. And out comes the Mandibuzz. This is a chance for me to set up Stealth Rocks. He's going to go for the foul play. I eat my Culver Berry there. It does no damage. He's going to see that. And I get my Stealth Rock up. Now I can set up a Reflect as well. He can go for another foul play if he wants to. I'm kind of forcing him to want to Rapid Spin or Defog or something. Get rid of hazards. I'm obviously not going to go hard Braviary on this thing right now, because he's just clicking foul play. But the Reflect will come up here, and that should allow me to take another foul play. And I could go for a Body Press. It's doing like 20%. Or I could double out now into something like Milotic, and click Scald for free. Scald's very free. I'm tempting him to go for a defog here, which makes me want to go out into my Braviary. And if he does defog, close combat doesn't kill him, but Brave Bird could, depending on his spread. I'm going to body press. He's going to click Toxic. That's not going to do anything to me right now. And so we see that he's not physically defensive. He's actually quite specially defensive. And that's really good. I could go out into my Milotic here if I want to. Though if he does go out into Serena, that's annoying. I could also just go out into Braviary. But again, I think that's a risky switch. I think he thinks I'm going to make that switch. And I don't want to play into exactly what he wants me to do. So the question is, do I body press here, knowing I live a foul play? Do I go out into Braviary at this point? If I don't get to +2, the thing is, going out into Braviary does nothing for me if I don't get to +2. Now I could go out into Galvantula, but Galvantula looks so good against this team that I don't really want to take any of this damage. So I'm just going to click Body Press. He's going to click Toxic again. It's not going to do anything. Body Press is going to come out and do a little bit of chunk there. And I could go out into the Galvantula at this point. I don't think, even if he foul plays against Galvantula, he is specially defensive. Foul play. It's doing 30% to my Galvantula set. Plus the 12% from Poison. But I really think it's very important here. Way more important than Bronzong is to me at this point, honestly. And so putting him down to 50% is better. He could Roost, but then Body Press is doubling its damage output. Yeah, I think that's better. He's going to Roost. That's fine. Body Press is going to do twice as much now. And yeah, my Reflect is going to fade, but now and then he's going to just attack me. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that he's just going to attack me here. That's okay. I'm not super stressed about that. I have a free switch now into Galvantula, and I can go for the Sticky Web. And it's totally free and totally safe. And he could attack me, sure. He could have Brave Bird as his last move, sure. My Sash is still intact, although I will die to the Poison. He goes for the Protect as I go for the Sticky Web. So that is going to work out really, really well for me, as I can now just click Thunder or Volt Switch with Abandon and not stress about it at all. Now he could Defog, which makes me want to Volt Switch into my Braviary. I think that is... Oh no, we don't. It doesn't have Defog. Toxic, Roost, Foul Play, Protect. So I can... Yeah, I can Thunder with Abandon here without any real repercussion. Although I know that he lives it. That's okay. He could go Mimikyu. Serena doesn't threaten me that much. I think it would die to a Volt Switch anyway. But this thing going for a foul play here is probably the likeliest occurrence. That was hard to say. My Milotic can't kill it, so I need to stay in with Galvantula and kill it. I have no choice. Gotta do what I gotta do. Galvantula is doing so much work against this team right now. Really, really helping me right now. And I think the 2 Mons I've lost have been not that important. I think losing Galvantula would be really bad. If he like foul play crits here, then we're in a lot of trouble. And since we know that he is specially defensive, since he took as much as he did from the body press, this is never gonna kill this Thunder. But certainly does a chunk, and foul play does a little bit, but not that much. He's gonna protect here. There's obviously no doubt in my mind he's gonna protect here. And like, I don't think it's worth staying in. I don't think it's worth taking that kind of damage. And so I could go out into my Darm. I could go out into my Braviary. He's definitely going to protect. Braviary does enough with a U-turn here to this Mandibuzz set, even after one more leftovers. That, but then its protect doesn't pop, so then he'd be able to protect again. But that's okay. I can Brave Bird at that point, right? Hop Raj is still annoying. I could make the super aggressive play to go into Darm here. But I don't know if that's worth it. That seems a little bit ambitious. And you know what? I'm just going to click Volt Switch. He doesn't go for the Protect, and we are going to be able to take that out. And now we outspeed everything. And I could go out into my Braviary, which I think is my best play here. Yeah, I'm going to go Braviary. Because if I don't, he could just go Serena, Protect, and get 2 turns of poison damage on my Darm. Galvantula being at that HP is actually amazing because it can take 3 more turns of poison as long as I can get kills on each of those turns. Copperajah, still super annoying. There's no denying that. It definitely is something I'm going to have to deal with moving forward. Like, there's no way that thing isn't going to be able to just annihilate. Oh, it doesn't have double Iron Bash. It has Iron Head, probably. Now, max attack, Adamant, Heavy Slam, or Iron Head don't kill me, but if I go for a close combat, there's a few rolls that definitely won't kill, guaranteed. Well, actually, after Rocks, if he's got no bulk, but he definitely will. If he's max bulk, there's a 48% chance to kill after Rocks. If he's max attack and max HP with his Copperajah. And so I obviously can't just straight up click close combat. Also, that would allow the Mimikyu in uninhibited. That Mimikyu is still annoying. It's still a problem. I still got the Milotic, though. Which, yeah, it'll be poisoned, so it'll be taking 12% instead of the 6% from the burn. But that's okay. We can manage that. And, you know, I don't think he can go Serena here. He can't get the spin off that he wants to get off. Copperajah is what comes in. Gets caught in the Sticky Web. And I think my U-turn is my best play. Scout out what his set is. And go Milotic, which gets the Marvel Scale immediately. He could set up Stealth Rock. He could certainly set up Stealth Rock here, which means I kind of want to go Galvantula. But Galvantula also kind of wins me the game if I don't do that. Or if I do that. And he does set up Stealth Rock. So Milotic's the obvious switch, but Galvantula might be the right play. It can live another switch into Stealth Rock. And maybe 1 turn of poison, though I'm not 100% sure on the HP there. Because poison does 12%, and Stealth Rock is 25%, and I'm at 37.9%, so I may live on 1. But I think clicking Scald is objectively my best play. So I'm going to go Milotic here. I'm going to get poisoned. He's going to go for the rocks. Yep, that's annoying, but it isn't the end of the world. And I just click Scald. And he goes Serena. Serena takes 12%, takes 14%, gets burned, dies. Oh, doesn't die to burn because of the leftovers. He could protect here, but I'd rather he protect than Rapid Spin. So I'm going to go ahead and Scald again. If I take a little bit of extra chip because he protects, I take a little bit of extra chip because he protects. Obviously, I could have recovered there, but I'm not stressed about it. I'd rather he not be able to Rapid Spin, so we're just going to keep Scalding and kill him eventually. And there you go. Down goes the Serena, so his removal is gone except for maybe the Mew. And Copperajah is chipped a little tiny bit. So, yeah, Milotic is down to 50%. But we do... If he does go Copperajah, then we can recover. Mimikyu comes out. I kind of just want to Scald on this. I kind of would rather just Scald on this. A part of me says recover, though. But a part of me says just Scald. Milotic is not necessary for the endgame here. I can kill the Copperajah with what I have left. As long as the Mimikyu dies, because I have the Scarfed Braviary with close combat. And yeah, so if I can get a Scald off here, he still outspeeds. If I can burn, that'd be huge. Now the fact that he still outsped is kind of wild, but I don't know how much Mimikyu does at neutral to a Milotic with Play Rough doesn't kill from here, even with the Life Orb. So I'm just going to recover. And so he could Swords Dance again. I think at that point, my best play here is just to haze because he's going to Swords Dance again. That's really obvious. And yeah, it makes him fast, but that doesn't matter at all because he can't kill me. And so he's going to Swords Dance. I'm just going to recover. And then I can just haze again with Abandon here. Or I can just Scald for now, since he's doing about 20%. He could Play Rough. I have plenty of recovers. There's the Play Rough. Gets the attack drop. Oh no, the attack drop. But I reset it with Haze, so it doesn't matter. And now I can recover. He's getting chipped down. He could switch out into the Mew at this point, if he really wanted to. Based on how little this Mimikyu is doing to my Milotic, it definitely is worth it for me to preserve it, especially considering Copperajah also probably can't touch it. So I could Scald at this point, or I can just Haze, just in case he tries to Swords Dance a second time. He's really not making a ton of headway here, because I can always end up recovering every 2 turns, as he has to Swords Dance to do any actual appreciable amount of damage. And so I'm just going to be able to recover here. And I still have 12 recovers, so I'm not worried about PP right now. This is Milotic doing Milotic things, and we're in a little cycle here. So hopefully you guys enjoy whatever I'm saying, because what's on screen is probably not that interesting. I mean, I could just Haze right here, but I think Recover is the better play. Haze would have been fun. That would have changed things up, would have mixed things up a little bit. Still 11 recovers, still plenty of recovering to be done. I Haze here, he Play Roughs, and then the way this goes down, I think at the end of this, is that I want there to be a light screen up. So I click light screen, and then I click recover. And I don't care if he's at +2 attack, because I'm going to recover off basically all of the damage, and sit behind this light screen, so he can't... Theoretically, Mew does nothing at this point, and because I have the Haze, I have the light screen up, and he's got the Boots! Ooh, Boots Mew. Alright, noted. Duly noted. So that's interesting. So I'm just going to go for a Scald. I don't know what he's going to do. He's going to Dragon Dance. Yo, this guy. This guy's got Boots, Dragon Dance, Mew. Alright. Recover. Recover. We're okay. Actually, Haze. Actually, I don't know. Oh, God. No, that's fine. Everybody panic right now. So... Mew... at +1. Let's assume he's max attack. He's probably Jolly with max attack with, like, Zen Headbutt. Okay, he's doing 25% at this point. So yeah, I definitely Haze. Ooh, he's got the Power Whip. That's going to take me out. Wow, does he win? Does he win is the real question here. I'm going to go out into my Braviary. I don't know what his Mew necessarily has for it, but obviously I have to do this. Brave Bird doesn't quite kill. U-turn definitely doesn't kill, but if I outspeed, then we're in okay shape. Because if he's slow Mew, I outspeed. If he's fast Mew, then he probably outspeeds. Zen Headbutt isn't killing from here, which is interesting, but neither is U-turn without a crit. I don't know what item he was, to be honest. Oh, he's Heavy Duty Boots, so he's not a relevant item. So yeah, Zen Headbutt can't kill me at +1 from here if he's not adamant. So maybe I should just click Brave Bird. Since he can't switch his Mew out, Brave Bird has a chance to KO from here. No, I think U-turn's a better play. If I outspeed him, then I'm fine. Well, then he might Dragon Dance here. If he knows that there's a chance I outspeed him. And also knows that Zen Headbutt doesn't kill. Ooh, wow. This is an interesting situation we found ourselves in. This is a conundrum. So Brave Bird has a chance to kill if he's completely not defensive at all, if he's just an offensive Mew. But if he's an offensive Mew, he's going to outspeed me anyway. Whereas U-turn, then if I U-turn out, puts me in range of Zen Headbutt from this thing. Darm also dies, potentially to a Zen Headbutt after rocks. Psychic Fangs. Oh, okay. Okay, so we know he's not... Okay. So Psychic Fangs, huh? He's got to have some coverage for Darm, though. Well, Psychic Fangs will kill the Darm. I think he's got it. I think he's found a way to win this game. Preserving this Mew was huge, and I think he found a way. I click Thunder. He probably kills me here with just any attack. Psychic Fangs most likely seems like the best option. Then I go Darm, and if I can't take a hit, then I will die. Now, if he isn't... Let's see. Psychic Fangs... Yeah, that was a roll for a max attack and Jolly set, so... Yeah, no, great game. He found a way to do it. I'm just going to click EQ here. Obviously, if I live this attack, I'm good. I don't. So it's going to be a 2-0 victory for Josh, Ultra Player, and the West Virginia Miniors, a phenomenal battler. If you haven't seen him, go check him out. I know he's battling on Showdown. That is for me, guys, if you missed the beginning of this video somehow and you got to the end of it. Congratulations. That's impressive. But anyway, I will see you all hopefully back next week, but there's a very good chance that I will not be participating in the UBL this season. Not obviously because I've lost this game. I fully expected to be winning, and I thought I was in a great position, but that Mew was a perfect set to counter my team. But what really matters is I just can't connect to LAN from my Switch, and that means I can't do the 10-minute timer for this or any other league. So we're gonna have to figure out a way to make that work. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this battle, and hopefully you guys continue to enjoy my content. I will be post-comming some other Showdown battles in the meantime until I figure out a way to get back into Wi-Fi battles. That is what I prefer. That is the style that I like better. So hopefully you guys enjoy what we have in the meantime. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all back here at some point with more league content, hopefully the UBL, but more than likely not. Thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everybody.